Hello, my name is Lena Hall, and my presentation is on the world trade and the trade war that is brewing between the United States and China. So let's first start by explaining the two theories. First, you have mercantilism. What is it? Mercantilism was the main economic system of trade utilized from the 16th to 18th century. Mercantilist theorists believed that the amount of wealth in the world was static. The goal in mercantilism was to increase a nation's wealth by imposing government regulation that oversaw all of the nation's commercial interests. It was believed national strength could be maximized by limiting imports via tariffs and maximizing tariffs. What is a tariff? A tariff is a tax or duty to be paid on a particular class of imports or exports. Tariffs are essentially border taxes charged on imported goods. Now, a second theory, what is liberalism? Liberalism, or the policy in which a country reduces its tariffs and other trade barriers, often in conjunction with other countries. And what does it do? Liberal trade policies are intended to encourage international trade, which fuels economic growth. Now, now you have protectionism. What is it? Trade protection is a deliberate attempt to limit imports or promote exports by putting up barriers to trade. As you can already guess, the more that you hear about Trump's views on what is going on his views are directed by this view, especially in his recent action of putting a 25% tariff on steel and aluminum. His thoughts that people will buy locally and it will help or benefit our country. Now you have protectionism. Now you're looking at free trade, which is the opposite of protectionism. When you are looking at free trade, you are looking at fewer tariffs as possible, which would give people the freedom to buy cheaper or better made products from anywhere in the world. This would be great for a company trying to cut costs, and that's help drive prices down and boost the world economy. But in the same sense, this would mean that these companies would be less likely to buy from buy local products. Why buy locally when you can buy your products needed cheaper from a different country? This would mean that there would be a loss of jobs in wealthier countries and some uneven growth. So when you look at this option of free trade, it has made some people richer, but also made others poorer. Now you're looking at free trade. So what's next? What is going to happen? Well, now we have the United States raising tariffs, and according to CNN Money, China stated, "We want to reiterate that we don't want a trade war, but we aren't afraid of fighting one." Someone is going to lose, and in the end, it will probably result with higher costs of things, which in the long run, who is going to struggle the most? The consumers, the little person? Something needs to happen where there needs to be an agreement somewhere in the situation so there can be a resolution. But you have each country in a way looking out for themselves, especially President Trump of the United States. President Trump wants to increase the wealth of our country by adding the tariffs to aluminum steel, and in the end, this could win in his favor or it could completely backfire against him and possibly hurt the United States more. If this continues to go back and forth with the raising of tariffs and taxes, a lot of things will be cut or be too costly for people to afford. And some countries really depend on this trade and benefiting their livelihood. In some situations, this is what people depend on to survive, and we take that away from them. Some of the trade will take away from their jobs, etc. If only we could take different parts of each theory and combine it and make a perfect combination where everyone could win and the trade would be fair and people wouldn't lose their jobs and products wouldn't cost an arm and a leg to buy. Everyone would win.